Come on, come on. What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Uh, what's up? I went to the gym today, did the Stairmaster. I was disappointed because they had the sauna closed. They were freaking moving in some lockers. I almost started to go in there anyway, but I was like, I won't be a rebel today. But it was stupid. Like, I'm not going to get undressed. I was just going in the sauna. But other than that, y'all, it was a pretty chill day. Nothing too spectacular went on. Hopefully all went well in your world as it did in mine. Besides, maybe you guys win the lottery and don't have to go to work today. That's the only way your days could probably get better than mine. Let's get into this news though. Almost 36 years after Eric and Lyle Menendez unalived their parents with the pew-pews in a crime, they are probably gonna get out. They said they can be resentenced to 50 years, 50 years with parole. So I think they've done 50 years or maybe eligible for parole. I don't know. A man who tried to open a cabin door and then attacked a flight attendant with a broken metal spoon on passenger jet in 2023 has agreed to a deal that includes his release. Model and entrepreneur Lauren Chan made queer history on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which hit stands Tuesday. She's the first lesbian to appear. The House Republican proposal to reduce federal funding to a nation's largest anti-hunger program would have a disastrous effect on low-income families. In today's edition of Diddy on Trial, we take a closer look at R&B singer Cassie Ventura's first day. It was a lot. She had pretty much said that, you know, their little freak offs the last 4 days. She was dehydrated. She was on every substance you could think of. She was just going along with the flow, and she didn't stop because she knew that he was gonna he would threaten her with like releasing the tapes or whatever, and it was a lot. Pete Buttigieg took aim at Trump administration in the Iowa town hall and discussed the Democratic Party path forward. Biden didn't recognize George Clooney at a June fundraiser in new book. Rescuers used boats to help evacuate 2 elementary schools in northwestern Maryland Tuesday as the states they were going through a flood. Pacers eliminate the Cavaliers in a 114-105 advance in the Eastern Conference. Publio's family tree shows ties to a prominent Creole family of color. I guess they saying Publio might be black. I don't know. Bill Belichick and his little girlfriend are just been in the news a lot lately. He shot down the notion about his relationship with her and his ability to lead his football program. Federal jury indicts Milwaukee judge accused of obstructing immigration agents. Family of Boeing whistleblower settles lawsuit with the aircraft maker after his unalivement. Yeah, he told on Boeing and then he wasn't around anymore. Very strange. Doctor accused of abusing Indiana University athletes passes away at 89. Thicket of red tape for Medicaid and GOP bill sparks fear of coverage loss. Trump probe into California program for elderly disabled legal immigrants attack that they're pretty much saying they want to shut that program down. ESPN's new all-access streaming app will be $29 a month. It's too many apps, man. Oh, gosh. I can't keep up with this. A traffic stop in Dalton, Georgia, which police admitted was a mistake, led to a 19-year-old Mexico-born college student's arrest and possible deportation. Harvard faces increasing sanctions after becoming the first university to openly defy the government's demands to end DEI practices. The FDA announces it will begin the process of pulling prescription fluoride drops and tablets for children off the market. The supplements are usually given to kids at high risk for cavities. The trade war is far from over, and Americans could still pay a big price, according to economics and analysts. Federal immigration agents were seen breaking an SUV window, throwing a man inside to the ground, and handcuffing him on Mother's Day after the man and his family left church in Chelsea, Massachusetts. The S&P rose on Tuesday, clawing back into positive territory for the year. As Jeanine Pirro prepares to become U.S. Attorney in D.C., Trump loyalist Ed Martin is taking over the Justice Department's effort to investigate Trump investigators. The father and son duo behind a stock fraud scheme involving the infamous $100 million New Jersey deli were sentenced to several months in prison. Only several months, that's it. A judge on Tuesday orders Florida State University student accused of unaliving 2 people and wounding 6 others in mass shooting on campus last month to remain in jail without bond. An Ohio father who is charged with fatally striking a deputy with his car after his son was unalived by the police filed a federal civil lawsuit seeking $25 million. That's probably going to help pay for his court costs. The aspiring app developers of today no longer have to be fluent in coding. Instead, many are describing apps into existence using plain English and throwing it into user-friendly large language models like ChatGPT. You know, ChatGPT gonna put a lot of coders out of business. Pete Rose has officially been taken off MLB's permanently ineligible list. The league announces the decision would make Rose, who passed away at 83 last summer, eligible to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. President Trump announced that the U.S. would cease sanctions against Syria to give them a chance at greatness as he seeks to strengthen ties to Saudi Arabia and other countries in the region. The United Health Group announced a new chief executive officer on Tuesday after a tumultuous year that saw the CEO of its United Healthcare subsidiary fatally unalived in Manhattan. Yankee third baseman Oswaldo Cabrera was taken off the field in an ambulance after he injured his left ankle in the 9th inning of the New York's 11-5 victory over Seattle on Monday night. A judge at a hearing on Tuesday is scheduled to consider Maui's doctor request to be released on bail while he fights an attempted unalivement charge on allegations that he tried to unalive his wife on a Honolulu hiking trail. Alright, y'all. I think we are caught up. Let's see what I liked on here.
Telephone facing you. Whether it's daytime, nighttime, don't sleep with your telephone facing you. Y'all, I'm terrified. Last night, somebody was watching me while I was asleep through my telephone. Now, y'all, I sleep with my phone on the charger, but it's like one of them upright chargers, and it's facing my bed. And I went to bed probably about 12 or 1 o'clock last night. For some reason, I really couldn't sleep. So I went to sleep. I'm a light sleeper. I sleep with the TV on. And I sleep with the rain and thunder sound on. So my room is quiet, all besides the little rain and thunder sound that I have on my phone. But my phone goes black or whatever. So when I was asleep, I heard like a microphone, like movement, like somebody was moving a microphone. and I thought that I was tripping. So I just laid there. And then I heard it again. So I woke up and I looked at my phone. And I saw a man with his face on the screen watching me. So y'all, I panicked. And I just jumped up out the bed like where he can see me. I just jumped up. And then I grabbed my phone and I turned it up toward the ceiling like where he couldn't look at me. And he said, "Come back." He told me to come back. Then he started speaking a different language. So I immediately started trying to turn off my phone. I turned my cell phone off. He was still on the phone. And he was speaking in a different language for probably about 30 seconds. And then it finally went away. I'm just telling y'all, I don't know what that was. That was the first time that has ever happened to me in my life. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. My blood pressure was 100/99. And I don't even have high blood pressure. The doctor was like, "That's unusual." I just want to tell y'all, I need y'all to share this message. Please do not sleep with your phone facing you. Sleep with it on the back where they can see the roof, because that was insane.
Is RuPaul rollerblading down the hallway? That looks so fun. He going fast too. You know, he ain't worried about that hip. I wish. Let's see what else we got here, y'all. Let's see what we get. There is a full moon. It's been a full moon the past couple of days. So DDG, who's Hailey Bailey's baby daddy, which I would have never knew he was until she had a baby by him. But he's a streamer. I just didn't know who he was because he's way out of my generation. But she had a baby by him. She's put a restraining order on him. She alleged that he was abusive to her, slammed her face in steer wheels, chipped her tooth, she showed bruises on her arm. Anyway, she was granted a restraining order. And I guess his mom replied back. She said, "I don't usually comment or say anything on this internet, even with all the negativity, the lies, and hatred towards mine. However, these accusations have made me realize that I have been quiet too long." Okay, but she didn't say nothing after that. Lots of baby oil talk still at Diddy's trial. I'm sure I feel bad for Hailey because it's just too much. So these were her pictures of her bruises and her chipped tooth. And yeah, this is just gonna be messy. This is when you would not want to be famous, child. Cassie's husband was leaving the trial. Yeah, I read all this earlier, but pretty much said that she testified that she used drugs at every freak out to disassociate and feel emotionless. She said Combs also used drugs, and sometimes the escorts did too. In an email exchange, Cassie confirmed that they were discussing drug use, which Combs indicated he was high. She explained she took more drugs to mentally escape the experiences, which she said she hated, even when the drugs made her vomit. Combs told her to continue. Cassie said that she did not want to continue having intercourse when she felt like vomiting. She described the effects of various drugs like GHB made her feel drunk and tipsy, cocaine made her heart race, and mushrooms caused hallucinations like making the walls appear to come alive. Just a lot. It was a lot on this, y'all. She said she did not like being peed on. Everybody was going in on the sketch artist because if anybody know Cassie do not look like this in real life. I don't know if the sketch artist is I hate her or what, but it was a terrible job. Um, she said she didn't want to be urinated on, but she was clearly urinated on. It's just a lot. It's so messy, and I really don't know what's gonna come of this, honestly. I can't even believe that so I guess they made Cassie's husband leave, which I thought was kind of crazy because he's there to support her. Says acting on a defense request, the judge said fine must leave the courtroom when questioning turns to Cassie's allegation that Combs assaulted her in 2018. That's because Combs' attorney says they may call Fine as a witness later in the trial in an attempt to discredit Cassie's allegation. Prosecutors argued that Fine is part of the emotional support system for Cassie, who's pregnant with their third child and should be in the courtroom when she testifies. Just, I know he can't stand Diddy, man. Kim Kardashian testified in her Paris trial for her robbery and said she absolutely thought she was not going to make it around. The judge in the Diddy trial also said that he's thinking about granting a request by media organizations to view what defense lawyers described as a pornographic video that will be shown to the jury as evidence in the case, but he's given the parties another day to make submissions on the matter. The judge says he needs to balance the privacy issues of the witnesses and defend it with the rights of the public to know what's happening during the trial. During the discussion about whether the explicit video should be available for viewing by members of the media, attorney Robert Ballin told the judge on behalf of media outlets that news organizations weren't interested in reporting something salacious and were not seeking copies of exhibits. He also suggested as an alternative that a group of pool reporters could be allowed to view the exhibits. Oof, would y'all want to see that? His family gonna keep showing up, of course, because why wouldn't they? But yeah, this sketch artist, like, who is drawing these pictures, y'all? For real. Let's see what else. Usher receives his honorary degree and delivers a keynote address at Emory University. Rapper Scarlett says she's getting the scar from her lip removed. Let's see what else we got, y'all. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be repetitive because the news always, these sites always have the same stories. Republicans just introduced a bill that could ban corn across America. The bill doesn't outright say no corn, but it's used broad and updated definitions on what counts as obscene content that involves real or simulated acts and is intended to arouse and lacks serious blah blah blah. In layman's terms, this gives the federal government a wide open lane to criminalize such adult content that exists online today, even if it's consensual, legal, and created by adults. The vague criteria of what qualifies as serious only adds concern. This proposal law doesn't stop at just banning the content. It also tweaks existing rules around what counts as harassment or obscene communication, which critics say could open a door to mass censorship. Right now, obscenity laws are mostly enforced at the state level and prosecutions are rare, but if this passes, it could create a federal standing, meaning content creators, platforms, and even everyday users could be targeted. Yeah, that would be the end of OnlyFans. This is almost like the government wants OnlyFans to cough up some hush money. Fake bags, real trouble, the dark truth behind dupe culture on social media. Cicadas are taking over the DMV after 17 years underground. The Project 2025's mastermind Russell Vought replaces Elon Musk as head of government efficiency. The Elon's done with that, huh? Alright, y'all. Let's see what Reddit got going on. We'll have more Diddy stuff to talk about tomorrow. So I invited this girl out to dinner and she invited a bunch of people to make it a large event. I told her the invite was just for us and turned down the group dinner. She said everyone's already invited and then suggested a movie together, Lost Cause or Pursue. Somebody said I rescind and say thanks but no thanks. I don't pick up signals from women very easy, but that one even I understood. Leave her alone. It's her loss. She turned you down. Move on. Very rude. Is it normal for a girl best friend to pull away after you get married? I got married about a year ago, and since then, my girl best friend has slowly distanced herself. She used to get along with my wife, but now they barely talk, and she avoids me too. I even saw her at a local store recently, and she acted like she didn't want to be seen. I asked my wife about it, and she noticed the same thing, but has no idea why. I tried asking my friends directly, and all that they said was there's nothing to think about. Still, it's been bothering me. I miss the friendship, and I can't figure out what changed. Is this just something that happens when you get married? I mean, why are you so worried about it? Somebody said it's pretty common for friendships to fall off after wedding, not always much rhyme or reason to it. Somebody said if it makes you feel better, I'm a woman and I went through something similar with my male best friend. We were really good friends for 10 years. We took multiple trips together, had a great texting relationship. I got married and he just disappeared. I mean, it's not rocket science, guys. Like, they either were interested in you beyond the friendship. Somebody says she's either trying to respect your wife or she's had a secret thing for you. Yes. I mean, the same thing has happened to me, but I just be like, oh, well. Like, I don't, like, if you stopped talking to me after I got married, then you was a dude, then okay. Friend wants to keep our friendship a secret from his wife. I'm a woman. I've had a male friend for about 10 years. We both lived in one country and worked for the same firm. We had a friendship versus a one-on-one friendship, to be honest. Some years later, I moved abroad. He incidentally lives in the same country. He referred me for the job, which helped me a lot. He doesn't have many friends, and neither do I. We met a few times a week for a drink. I met his wife twice. They got married after I moved to the new country. The first time she was lively. The second time I felt so confused. I met both of them, and she just sat in front of me. He doesn't touch me anymore because I got fat. I felt so bad for her and didn't really comment. He just sat there. Fast forward, we continue to meet. He and I, every couple of months after work, he admitted to me that his wife doesn't like us being friends because I'm a woman and because he told her that he used to find me attractive years ago. He then said she cannot know we meet. He explained to me that he was super lonely and had a lot of money issues and also incredibly unhappy in his marriage. He says he's unable to leave his marriage because of money issues with his wife. It's probably of note, I have a partner and he and I are super happy. My friend knows this, has met my partner, etc. My partner and I felt sorry for him, so we kept hanging out with him. He talks so badly about his wife. It's disgusting. I'll be honest, my partner was also disgusted, but we continue to try to support him. 80% of the conversation is him just saying nasty things about her, blah, blah, blah. Came to a point where I shouted at him, divorce her or just stop talking about it. My friend admitted he knows that his behavior is a burden and just stated he needs to vent to keep healthy and doesn't have a reason why he doesn't do solo therapy. He then told me that he keeps my number saved without a name so she doesn't know who I am. He then also said that I cannot post any photo of him on social media as she might find out. At the same time, he asked me to sit next to him on an 8-hour flight. We happen to be flying to the same place. He also asked me to go early to duty-free hangout and drink, etc. I'm feeling incredibly used by him. Then why stay around? Like, you don't have to be his emotional support person, like, for real. Somebody said at this point, you and your husband have both told him he needs to change and he hasn't. Tell him you're done playing therapist. Exactly. Like, you don't have to do this. So my little brother is being extorted in prison. Can anyone please provide some advice? I'm open to all suggestions and opinions, even from people with experience in prison. My brother went to jail, location removed for his safety, and has been there for years. He is being extorted by an inmate, and we don't know what or why. Whenever we talk to him, he's asking for hundreds of dollars daily. His mother just sent $1,000 a few days ago and overheard a man in the background talking to him very aggressively, demanding he ask for more money. He gives me no details about the danger he is in, and all the time lies every time we ask him about it. His excuse is for food and cigarettes. These food and cigs cost us a lot of money per package, and he is asking it every day. The inmate is basically extorting my family. We have zero info, and I feel like a sucker who is helpless. We're thinking he's scared to say something out of fear or being hurt because he has been violently attacked before. Should we report it? I mean, yeah, he probably getting beat up anyway. You definitely should report it and stop sending money. You probably did something strange or got caught or but he's in prison. I mean, yeah, report it. They'll put him in protective custody. Somebody said, do not continue. You will lose everything. Your brother has to deal with this now or later, unfortunately. I would bet 10 to 1 your brother's addicted to drugs and is continuing to ask for hundreds more dollars because he probably hasn't been told no since he was 10, speaking from experience. It's something, but y'all just sending money, like, why? Super lazy husband. My husband is a lazy bum. He hasn't worked in 3 weeks yet, won't pick up after himself and help out around the house. I had to ask him several times today to pick up after himself his own mess. I just got seat covers today for my new car. I asked him to install them for me because the directions confuse me. Instead, he decides to play games on his PlayStation. All he has done all day is go career source office to put in resume and log into his work email for a job he's yet to even start. Today I dusted, mopped, and took out the trash, and I'm so sick I had to miss work on Saturday. Somebody says stop making his dinner if you are. Stop ironing his clothes. Stop washing his skitty-ridden underwear. Somebody said maybe he's depressed. I don't know, but I'll be praying for you. All right, let's see what story times I got, y'all.
If you ever get a flat tire, run out of gas, or get stranded on the freeway, did you know that you could get free roadside assistance simply by dialing 511? Yep, and that's anywhere in the United States. Let me read here what I found online regarding 511. It says here that in an effort to decrease traffic congestion and non-emergency calls to 911 while increasing motorist safety, 511 now offers a new option, Freeway Assist, free of charge. Yes, free of charge. It says here that using the new Freeway Assist program, motorists on a freeway with a non-emergency situation like a flat tire, stalled car, or if you run out of gas, you can simply dial 511 on their cell phones. And once connected, say Freeway Assist. The call will be transferred to the current call answering center that answers roadside call boxes, which will then determine the location of the motorist and provide appropriate roadside assistance services. And this is all free. It's nationwide. So just remember, you guys, if ever you're stranded on the freeway, dial 511 and they'll get you help.
Someone please call 511. Now, this is really good information to know.
And y'all know where we headed, right over to the Fluffy Butt Hut to collect these eggs. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous because my girl hasn't seen the new chickens yet. And baby, them chickens is tore up. She didn't come with me on the field trip to get the new flock, so she doesn't know that we have a whole slew of new hens. The new hens were rescued from unfavorable conditions, so they don't look like my girls from the Fluffy Butt Hut. Baby, their backs is balding, their booty is gone, their hair, their edges is toe up, everything is just toe up. Child, as soon as she stepped in, ghetto stuff was happening. She looked at me like, girl, did you see this? Baby, the crackheads is out. Suya, be nice. Be nice. They don't know you yet, baby. Mom, I like it. He's like, leave your Okay, shh. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's yucky. It just looks a little different. They're a little raggedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just a little raggedy right now.
Hot.
It's hot. They just laid it. It's warm. My girl went and stole her brother's Takis earlier, and now she's leaving Taki stains all on my eggs, child.
Ew. I got it.
Okay, put it in the basket. It's okay. They gonna learn. They gonna get better. Let's see if that red dye 40 give her a boost to work harder.
Ooh,
The rackety chicken started to surround her, and my girl started to get disgusted, and she looked around with pure disgust. So much so, she even let out a silent scream. My girl was stressed.
Oh, that.
It's dirty.
Yeah.
Come on, it's okay. We'll clean it back up. We'll clean it up. Next, we went to go let the alpacas out of the enclosure. It's been stormy the last few days, so the boys will be glad to see some sunshine. And it took me just over a month to finally get them to do single file lines. Just look at it. Beautiful. I'll be shearing them in the next few days. Celia, what did you got? What do you got?
Cheese.
It's not ready yet, baby. They're not ready. And y'all know we added a duck enclosure, so my girl had to go let the ducks out.
A fairy. Yeah, she was a fairy.
That fairy ass run. Now she invaded their house. My girl decided she wanted to take a break from farm chores and sit at her mushroom table. Child, these chickens just wouldn't leave her alone. She was just minding her business counting flowering roaches, and this chicken just wouldn't leave her dressed alone, child. As we were heading in the house to go package eggs, I found a random stash of eggs by the door. Y'all know our farm stand opens in a few days, and I've been teaching my girl all spring how to package eggs, and she's meticulous. Y'all know Capricorns are their perfection. My girl was determined to make the perfect dozen. She kept taking them out and putting them back in, child. She couldn't make up her mind. It took her over 20 minutes to pack a dozen of eggs. I'm not gonna lie, but when she finished, her egg cartons were beautiful. My farm princess really has an eye for this. As we were packaging eggs, a package from Japan arrived from Elia May.
That's so.
Ooh.
That is so.
You know, the viral $80 melon in strawberry from Japan. I felt, who wouldn't be better to judge this melon but farmers, baby? Because we gonna tell you if it's worth the hype. Judging by her reaction, what y'all think she was thinking? To find out, I guess she gotta follow me for more Black girl farming adventures.
It's so cute, but that little girl is the kind of farmer I would be, because I'd be like, ah!
Any woman that I know that has had a hysterectomy, they say it is one of the best decisions they've made in their life. And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
And I'm just trying to get on the train. That's all I want it so bad. Like, so bad. I'm like, I'm sick of this.
I'm telling you, I have no regrets about getting that hysterectomy. I'm so happy I did it.
Girl, I want one so bad. Every month I'm just mad. Like, why won't they just give me? I don't care if I got to pay out of pocket for that surgery. Put me on a payment plan. I don't.
There's a lot of women that I know that wants hysterectomies and their doctors won't do it for them.
Freedom, freedom.
Alright guys, so I know it's been a couple days, so I am going to go ahead and do the story time on how my boyfriend bit my lips off and I had to get reconstructive surgery. So for people that didn't see my video that had went viral a couple days ago, this situation did take place back in March. I may have to break it up in a couple parts, so please bear with me, as this is something that I am still physically healing from, emotionally healing from, so please bear with me. Okay, so boom. Me and my ex, we had been together for about 10 months. This isn't a stranger. I've been knowing him since high school, and I graduated in 2014, so we've been knowing each other for a good chunk of time. For the people that was asking me and want to know if there was like past abuse or if this is something that I have been going through with him, no. This is not anything that I have been going through with him. However, there were red flags, and I will discuss that during this story time. Okay, so it all took place back in March on the 17th. We had decided that we were going to go to his hometown. His family was having like a get-together, and he wanted me to go down there and meet his side of the family and meet all of the friends that he grew up with. So we were going to stay down there 2 days. I had ended up getting a rental and a hotel room, and we drove down there, and we were going to stay down there for 2 days and come back. So I packed up me and my 2 dogs and him, and we headed down there. It's about 2 hours away from where I currently stay at now. And just to give you some context, yeah, we had been together for 10 months. he was living with me at the time, and he had been living with me for a while. He actually, ironically, became homeless a few months into us starting to mess with each other. The only reason why I'm giving y'all these little details is because it's all going to tie into the story. So we go down there the first day. It was good vibes. Like, I met his family that I had never seen in person. I met some of his friends that I had never met. We chilled with some of the friends that I have met, and everything was copacetic. So we stayed down there the first day, and everything took place on the second day. And I feel like it was like little signs and stuff telling me not to go down here, but I still went. Anyways, not anything that he did, but for instance, they were supposed to be having like a little family get together. They decided the day of us coming down there that they weren't going to have it on that particular day. However, the rental was already paid for, the hotel room was already booked, so we just decided, hell, it's only 2 hours away. Might as well go down there and see your family. So we went. So again, on the second day, we wake up, I go meet his best friend. His best friend that he's been friends with since he was 8 years old. We go out to eat. We have a good time. We decided that because we had drove down there straight after work and we hadn't really gotten a lot of sleep, that after we had went to eat, we were going to go back to the crib, take a nap, and then we were going to get up and we were going to chill with everybody because it was going to be our last night down there. And we were kind of rushing for time because both of us had to be to work the next day. Like the day that we were coming back, we had to be to work. So boom, we go out to eat. We have a good, dinner. And then we go back to the room and we lay down. When we wake up, we decided that we were going to go drink with his aunt. And then we were going to go chill with his other homeboy. We're going to call this homeboy B. So we end up waking up. We go chill with his aunt. Now, I do want to give y'all a couple little, tips. First of all, when we came down there, we were only down there for 2 days. We had 2 bottles. The first bottle got gone the first day. We had shared that bottle with maybe 5 other people. So that bottle was gone. We had the second bottle. So when we got to his aunt crib, I told him, like, hey, being that we have multiple places that we're going, it's probably not the best idea to drink this whole bottle at your aunt's house. But of course, that shit went in one ear and out the other. The whole bottle got drunk at his aunt crib. It was good vibes. We was all laughing, playing games, doing what we do. So his aunt is like, oh, I got this other bottle that I forgot about. Let's open that up. And I told him, I'm like, hey, I don't want us to get too drunk. Like, let's pace ourselves because we still have another place we have to go. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care at all. He got fucked up. He was drunk as hell. Mind you, I am the only licensed driver. The rental is in my name. So he decided that he did not want to go chill with homeboy B. He wanted to go chill with homeboy A. I have to give y'all a little backstory on homeboy A. Homeboy A got a baby mama. I had met the baby mama before. We had FaceTime with each other. We done talked to each other on the phone prior to me meeting her in person. When I met her in person on day 1, she was cool. Everything was fine. She was kind of standoffish for real, because she was in her room. But from what I seen, she was cool. Now, the second day, the first thing we did is went over to homeboy's A house. Okay? I know homeboy A. Homeboy A had spent the night at my house before. He's came to our hometown. So I've had a history with homeboy A. He's cool. However, the second day I came there, the baby mama was a little off. And the reason why I say this is because the way that she was acting was off. How she was dressed was off. And I just kind of got weird vibes from her. And when we left homeboy's A house that morning of the second day, I told my boyfriend at the time, I said, hey, I don't think that we should go back over here. The reason why I say that we shouldn't have gone back over there is because homeboy A, baby mama, and my boyfriend at the time had a history with each other prior to us being in a relationship. And my boyfriend told me that him and homeboy A fell out a few years ago because homeboy A baby mama and my boyfriend at the time was fucking on the low. Yeah. So I already was side-eyeing her, anyways, because you have a past with my ex on some shady shit. You cheated on your boyfriend with his best friend, So I'm already looking at you sideways. And on top of that, he's not the only homeboy that she's had sex with. Keep it a buck. And I don't care if anybody from my hometown see my story time and they get mad at what I'm about to say. But she confessed to my ex-boyfriend that she slept with homeboy A biological brother. So that's the context that I want to give you. She was a hoe. But somehow we ended up at homeboy A's house. We were supposed to go to homeboy B house, but somehow we ended up at homeboy's A house after we left the aunt crib. I was upset about it because I feel like as a woman, I've already expressed to you that I'm not comfortable, and you're putting me in a fucking uncomfortable situation while both of us is under the influence. Now, I wasn't drinking as much as him, but I still had some alcohol in my system, so it's like you're putting me in a wheelchair.
Anyway, she going in on that girl, but that girl didn't bite her lip off. And that's the moral of the story. Good job on whoever put her lip back on. And y'all can follow her if y'all want to hear the rest of her yapping, but I don't.
I'm so sick of black preachers. Black preachers make me sick. Because see, white preachers just go and tell you that for the Lord said, hallelujah. Didn't he say it? That God so loved the world. How about that? That he gave his only begotten son. Hallelujah. That whosoever, didn't he say it? Love him shall have everlasting life. I heard him say that. That's how white preachers do. Black preachers got to be dramatic. Just can't say no prayer. Got to be some shit in the game. I just want to tell somebody. I just want to tell somebody. Don't you want to tell somebody? God want me to tell somebody. Don't you want to tell somebody? Whoa, tell it. Tell it, motherfucker, tell it. If I come up there, there's going to be some misunderstanding. Tell it. I'm so sick of black preachers.
Let him use you, Barney.
Where my man at? Where my man at? Cause whoa, I need that nigga right now. Cause where my man at? Where my...
New research shows that lying on the floor can help you feel less overwhelmed in what many are referring to as floor time. New research shows that lying on the floor can help.
Listen, y'all, I ain't mad at it. That's the show. Y'all stay blessed. Inspiration on the way.
God got ready to show how much you were worth, he gave his son. Then how can you have low self-esteem? How can you devalue what he has valued when he paid the price that redeemed you from your sin? Love, how holidays because you have great food and you have great fun. People come over. I like to entertain and have a good time. 4th of July is one of those times. I recognize the greatness of this country. And we come over and we have food and we have cookouts and we have activities and it's fun. And my wife and I have hosted all kinds of families and all kinds of friends. And our kids bring people we don't even know. And we're feeding to everybody, strangers. I don't know whether they're serial killers, but I feed them. If they come in there and they're hungry, I feed them. We relish all of the things that stand behind this country. And although I'm thankful, I also have to realize that what we are celebrating is not my liberty. Because as an African American, we were not freed when they were free. And I have to understand that and be able to embrace it and be able to celebrate something that my ancestors had to wait hundreds of years to really enter into. I'm reminded of the hardships that they went through and what they had to endure and what happened to them. And we are finally in this country starting to recognize that we all enjoyed the liberty, but it didn't all happen on the same day. And we can celebrate each other's liberty, even though they came at different times. And that does not negate the greatness of this country or the power of who we are as a people. It is just honest. It is just honest. It's as honest as marriage is. That sometimes both of you are not equally in love at the same time. It's as honest as parenting is. You love them all, but there's one child that drives you absolutely crazy. And that doesn't mean that you're not a good parent. It's just being honest. We like nice, neat, pretty little stories, but that's not the way it goes. Dr. King was right when he said no one is free until we all are free. And then we really enjoy freedom. Suffering must never be wasted because freedom is a bloody business. Freedom is a bloody business. The women winning the right to vote was a bloody business. Freedom for people of color was a bloody business. Freedom to come to this country was a bloody business. It was with warfare and suffering and struggle, and freedom from my sins was a bloody business. There was no way to redeem me without Christ going to the cross and bleeding for me, because freedom is always a bloody business. God redeems because crushing is not the end. Jesus went to the cross because crushing is not the end. You want liberty bad enough, you got to be willing to pay the price to get it, because it won't go on sale and nobody will ever give it to you. You got to be able to march for it, fight for it, protest for it, work for it, be nailed to a tree for it. Freedom is always a bloody business. Surrender your sufferings to the master vendor because you understand that he will guide you through the process when the process is painful. I heard one of the civil rights leaders say that when you march, you ought to sing. And what an oxymoron between hoses and dogs and singing. But singing balances the suffering. And God comforts us as we pay the price to be free. I want to seek out the sufferers. When I was in West Virginia, when I was in West Virginia, I had the story came over the hill. I was driving my car. And back then, it was maybe 1981 or so, and I was driving a 1979 Silver Anniversary Trans Am, and I came over top of the hill. I came over the hill, and when I turned over the hill, there was a guy on the side of the road. He'd been in a wreck, and there was blood up against the window, and I pulled my car up to the side of the road, and I ran over to him, and I said to the man, "Should I call the police?" And he said, "No, call an ambulance." And I felt so stupid, because suddenly I realized he didn't care about who was right or wrong. He just wanted to get better. And sometimes we're so engrossed on who is right and who is wrong that we call the police when we need to call the ambulance, because it doesn't matter who's right and it doesn't matter who's wrong. It matters that we get better. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? It matters that we get better. It matters that we survive. It matters that we overcome. It matters that we send our kids to school, because we are training the doctors that are going to take care of us in our old age. And so if we don't have a great education system, then we're going to weaken our ability to survive the vicissitudes of life. We are training the next generation of thinkers. This is important. Because at our most vulnerable stage, we will only be as strong as what we put in our children. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? And when you're in a wreck, you don't care what color the paramedic is. You don't care whether you can spell his name or pronounce his name, or whether he came from this country or from another country. If you've ever been in a wreck and been hurt bad enough, anybody that jumps off of that ambulance and comes over to you with the bed and puts oxygen over your face, you are so happy to see them, you don't know what in the world to do. You don't say, oh, I don't want oxygen from you because you came from another country, or you look different than me, or I don't think you're legitimate, or you're a woman, or you're a man. I don't care what you are. Put the oxygen right here. Okay? Put it right here. Do not judge people. Don't rush to judge people. Don't rush to judge them for helping you, because your help may come from somebody you didn't expect. God may send your help in a form. That's why Jesus taught on the Good Samaritan. Because he was trying to get the legalistic Pharisees and Sadducees to understand that it may not be a Pharisee or a Sadducee that comes to rescue you. It may be a Samaritan. And in Jesus' days, they didn't like the Samaritans. And Jesus wanted them to understand that God doesn't promise to help you through the people that you approve. So the priest came by and he looked at him and then walked away and didn't do anything for him. And the Levite came by and he walked and he looked at him and he still did. The priest and the Levite were related to them. And you would have thought that the help would have come from somebody like you. The point of telling them that the Good Samaritan came over and got down off of his beast and put him on the beast and poured in the oil and the wine is to let you know is that you don't get to pick the flavor of your help. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? That God will use whoever he will, and sometimes he uses people that you wouldn't expect to broaden your mindset, to open up. That God may use somebody who votes differently, who dresses differently, who walks differently, who talks differently, so that you'll be broad enough to understand that God works through all kinds of people, and that God may work through the jawbone of an ass, or God may use a Rahab, a harlot, to harbor the spies to get you out of the crisis that you're in, or that God might turn around and use a Gentile to deliver a Jew, that God might turn around and use a woman to bring the news that he is risen from the dead, that God might turn around and use somebody that your theology doesn't agree with, because God does not submit to your thinking. God is God. God is God. And at the end of the day, what makes us all common is that what we all have in common is that we all suffer. And we all grieve, and we all get hungry, and we all get tired, and we all face disappointment. And I wonder why we can't do this together. If we all suffer, and if we all have been crushed, and if Jesus died for us all, then why can't we do this together?